We're just going to ask them, in our experience, when you're looking at buying a motor vehicle, it comes down to really two things at the end of the day. One, is it the right vehicle? Is it going to do the job for you? Are you happy with the way it performs? In your opinion, is it the right vehicle? Secondly, is will the money fit the budget? Is it going to be within the framework that you had set yourself or that you feel comfortable with? One is we've got to have the right environment. If we don't have the right environment, then it's not even going to work. So what we'd like to suggest is just take a look at this and make sure that the setup in your dealership is either similar or conducive to a customer wanting to sit down and wanting to negotiate and discuss the purchase of a new vehicle. So obviously we've already discussed having a set parking place when you come back from the dealership in view of the management or in view of the dealership, and make sure that that's kept clean. If you're not the person in the demonstration drive and someone else parks there and one of your other salespeople is out, move the car or organize it to be moved so that that set place is there available for the return of the demonstration drive. Have an agree to an agree attitude. You know, if things work, that's great, and if they don't, well, at least we've given it our best shot. Have an attitude of agree. Have some fresh coffee. Look, nothing like the smell of fresh coffee. Make sure it's clean. Paper cups are one thing. I prefer to have china. However, some of the cafes that you go into now have some really good paper cups. Make sure it's at that quality or that standard. In fact, a number of dealerships we're working with right now also have small coffee lounges already built into the dealership. Maybe even like a little creche or a place where the kids can play in safety and they can enjoy themselves, which gives the parents an opportunity to relax and talk with the salesperson about the purchase of their vehicle. Round tables, I think, is important. It just takes away from, you know, the bank manager type setup. But if you have got a square desk or an oblong desk, as a salesperson, I move round to the side so that we're working more with the customer rather than, you know, setting up that bank manager thing. Positive posters around the dealership, quite good. You can get some really nice ones nowadays, you know, with golf courses or sporting events, and they have some good, quite positive captions. It's all about positive reinforcement about working in the organization. Have a practiced, drilled and rehearsed format in writing down the paperwork. One of my favorites when I'm sitting down with a customer is just ask them, providing things work out, John, who's the new vehicle going to be in the name of? That's just a very easy way to start getting everything on the paperwork without a threatening situation with the customer. From time to time they may say, hold on, I'm not buying today. And all I'm going to say at that stage is, that's understandable. All we do is put everything on the paperwork so that we don't forget anything. And that's going to be probably important later on, don't you agree? I might bring the window card in from the new vehicle. I'm going to ask someone else for the changeover figure. I like the manager to write in the changeover figure. And I have an attitude of assuming ownership. As an example, the new vehicle is 20. We're in a position to offer you $10,000 for your vehicle today, which gives us a changeover of 10. How are you looking to settle the difference? Is that going to be cash, terms, or a combination of both? Rather than asking if, I tend to ask how and when. In other words, providing things work out, when would you prefer delivery, for instance? Assume it all works for you. How are you looking to settle the difference? So those are some very key, simple steps at the write-up. So in the write-up situation, it's important for the salesperson to start at the window price or the recommended retail, if that's what it is. If it's a promotional price, then we put that one in as well. Start at the true trade and offer the changeover figure, which is worked out from those figures. I'm really decline the opportunity of asking the customers to make an offer, because invariably they will start too low. What we try and do is give them an idea of what would be reasonable and acceptable, and that's why it's got to be fair and reasonable. So be very careful of that. As a salesperson, I like to start the transaction. I can't be the buyer and the seller, so what I'm going to do is put down the figures and then have a discussion. Remember, you've earned the right here. This is not about trying to do any trickery or horns coming out or changing your attitude towards the customer. You've worked for them all the way through, continue to work for them right now. And I tell you what, you'll help more customers buy more vehicles and be satisfied with the ownership from you than ever before.